It's very hard to be in this industry and to have, as a woman, and look at yourself in the mirror as much as I have to, and realize that my face is not a wash anymore. There are lines, and there are people who say I've earned these lines, and I know I have.
I'm a computer nerd. I took my glasses. Let me put them on. You're seeing the wrong me. This is me. I'm just a guy who plays on a computer and fixes solar panels. That's all I do.
Hi, I'm John Tesh, and welcome to One on One. Today we visit with two people who knew from the time they were children that they wanted to be actors. Linda Lavin grew up in Portland, Maine, and started acting in school. She headed for New York after college and landed on Broadway. She was nominated for a Tony for her role in Neil Simon's Last of the Red Hot Lovers, but it was playing the part of the working single mother and waitress in the series Alice that made her a star. When the show ended in 1985, she returned to Broadway and this time won a Tony for her performance in Neil Simon's Broadway Bound. Another U-turn, and she's back to television in her new series, Room for Two. And Ed Begley Jr. grew up in Hollywood, always wanting to follow in the footsteps of his famous character actor dad. He made his professional debut at the age of 17 on an episode of My Three Sons, but the show that audiences know him best for is St. Elsewhere. Ed played the bumbling, inept Dr. Victor Ehrlich and was nominated for an Emmy as Best Supporting Actor every year that show was on the air. He has 31 films and 17 television movies to his credit and is probably the most outspoken environmentalist in Hollywood. He drives an electric car and hasn't bought a gallon of gas in 2 years. Stay tuned for Ed Begley Jr. and Linda Lavin. She played the middle-aged single mom who moved west to pursue her dream of becoming a singer. But Alice ended up a waitress instead. And for 9 years, Linda Lavin served up the laughs at Mel's Diner.
You're getting $2.60 an hour from Mel?
And he said that was for starters. You know, he said it would go up, too. What are you getting? Rooked.
Like Alice, Linda's childhood dream was to become a singer. After college, she moved to New York and worked odd jobs while going for chorus calls. It took 10 years before she landed her first speaking role. In 1969, she married co-star Ron Liebman, and a year later got her first Tony nomination. Hoping to cash in on her Broadway success, she moved to Hollywood, only to find she had to start all over again. But in 1974, Linda's luck changed when she met Barney Miller producer Danny Arnold. He was so impressed with Linda, he created the character of Detective Wentworth for his new series.
You cooperate with us, we cooperate with you.
Wentworth?
Yeah!
Linda has also produced her own projects. She handpicked her roles, usually preferring strong, independent women, often with a cause, as in her TV movie Lena, My 100 Children.
When you grow up, you'll see that life is not so simple.
In 1987, Linda returned to Broadway and won a Tony for her performance in Neil Simon's Broadway Bound.
I'm so glad you like my work.
She has also appeared in several feature films, including the 1989 film See You in the Morning, starring Jeff Bridges.
Listen to me. The woman is a saint, and a saint is the only kind of woman who'll have anything to do with you.
Currently, Linda's taking another shot at a weekly sitcom in her upcoming series, Room for Two.
I did have,
Rather intense few weeks with someone.
While her career is on track, Linda's personal life has been rocky. Her divorce from actor Kip Niven turned into a messy and much publicized court battle. But like the characters she so often portrays, Linda Lavin is a survivor. We spoke with her at her Malibu home. Television is powerful enough to create a character like Alice. You had waitresses responding to your character, didn't you?
Yes, and still do. You want to work here? You walk into a restaurant, get back here, they'll say. Our food is good as Mel's, you know. Had a lot to do with women in like positions coming up and saying, because of you, because of Alice. I got some courage from somewhere I didn't even know I had, they say. I went back to school. My kid's in a high chair. I'm feeding my kids, taking them to school. These are single parents, working mothers, unskilled laborers, looking for a way to make ends meet. And they see Alice on a rerun. And they say, if she can do it, I can do it. People have turned their lives around. That's why television is so vital, so important.
Your discovery for most of America came in Alice.
You bet.
Did your life change significantly following that?
Yes, significantly. She opened doors for me into into an arena that was political, that was sociological, that forced me into an awakening of what was going on economically for women in this country, so that I became very involved as Alice, as Linda, and the two became one for women's issues. She was the root for me in terms of that journey, which continues for me because of Alice.
How different is the young lady today than the little girl who went to attack New York?
Oh, I'm much more peaceful. I like myself a lot more. It's harder for me to look at myself in pictures that I have of those years.
Why is that, do you think?
It's very hard to be in this industry and to have, as a woman, and look at yourself in the mirror as much as I have to, and realize that my face is not awash anymore. There are lines, and there are people who say I've earned these lines, and I know I have, but it's tough to look at. And I am playing a mother of a 30-year-old, you know, and there's no denying that I must be old enough to be the mother of a 30-year-old, and it doesn't seem possible to me. I can't imagine where it's gone.
When you're an actor or an actress in Hollywood and you become famous, such as yourself, your life becomes discussable, shall we say? I mean, in the tabloids or in newspapers or on television shows. And when your second marriage ended, it became public knowledge that it was a very messy divorce. How were those times for you? How did you get through them?
With the grace of God and the conviction that it's a journey that I need to be on. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm taking care of myself, and that's what it's about. That it's all right and that I'm all right.
Given what you've been through and what you've learned as a married lady, do you still believe in the institution of marriage?
I don't know that marriage is the answer, and I don't know that it's the problem. I feel much more empowered by what I've gone through, and that the world is, and life for me is enriched by every lesson that I've learned. And I see relationships and marriages around me that are very encouraging and very hopeful, and that are where people really learn together how to do it. I think that's possible. I don't know anything about the future for me. I know that right now the important thing for me is to learn to develop a relationship with myself and not to depend on a relationship with someone else to define me.
What was the scariest time in your life?
The scariest time is not just one. A divorce is scary. The end is scary. The death of something is scary. To deny that is really scary, because then you're not in touch with your feelings. To admit that, and to sit and to shake and to quiver and to cry and to weep, and to allow yourself to admit that to other people, to get the love of other people and the support, that's new for me. I've not known how to do that until the last few years of my life, to let people in. And then it's not so scary. Only by walking through the fear do I feel that I've come out whole.
I get the feeling, listening to you today, that it really is a new beginning for you.
It is indeed another new beginning, but it's the best I've ever been. I feel that this is a very special time in my life. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and I'm surrounded by people whom I love and who support me. I couldn't be happier. It's a great time.
Coming up,